Hey Kevin, can you hear me?
Hey Reggie, how's it going?
Hey dude, so sorry about this.
Oh, no worries. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
I'm in Barcelona and we
Yeah.
rented a co-working space and then I just realized that we rented it for an hour too late because the time here just changed last week. So I thought it was an hour from now this whole time.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
then
it's like completely messed up.
yeah, and then we came here and they said, "Oh, they had a sign on the door, we'll be back in 15 minutes." But
Nice.
yeah, but someone let us in, so so far so good.
Is the whole
Um,
team, the whole reveal team there?
no, just me.
Just you,
They
just
might
you. Oh,
tune in.
nice. Okay, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Is the whole team there in Barcelona?
Oh yeah, most of
Oh,
us.
what's
Yeah.
it for?
Just
What are you guys there?
to meet, like have some in-person sessions because we all work in different areas. So
Oh, okay, nice. That's cool.
yeah,
In-person sessions.
yeah.
Any events going on right now in Barcelona for like Facebook stuff or?
No, not that I know. Yeah.
Like no, like not at all. Like, no, like, nothing at all.
Yeah. No, we just came here for each other.
That's good.
Got,
Yeah. How
got
big
to
is the
know.
team now? The remote team.
14 people. Yeah. I'm the only one in the
Oh
US
damn.
though. So
Oh shit.
yeah, it's mostly for me to like come and meet them, I guess.
Yeah. They're all based out of Ukraine,
Russia.
Russia. Okay.
Yeah.
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 Russia. Yeah.
It's
We
pretty
have
cool though.
like it's cool. Nice. That's awesome. I've been to Barcelona once with Wilson actually.
Oh yeah.
So we were doing some sort of Euro trip back in the day.
Nice.
Yeah. I basically redid my whole PowerPoint. I'm not sure if you saw it.
Oh no, I didn't get a chance to see it.
Yeah, it's
I'm
fine.
sure it's good.
I just redid it all. Just like we'll
Okay.
see how long it's gonna take. An hour or
Okay.
so.
Okay. That sounds good.
How many people signed up? Do you know?
Yeah, 103 from when I
Oh, nice.
checked
That's good.
not that long
Maybe how
ago.
many you think 20, 30 will show up?
Maybe 20. We'll see. We didn't get a super
Yeah.
high attendance rate last time,
Yeah.
so hopefully it's better this time. But
Yeah.
I think most people just watch it.
A lot of people just watch the replays.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
don't
because
really
it's
care too much.
yeah. Yeah, it's like lunchtime here for at least for us in the East Coast. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
like prime time to go eat, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. Can you is my
Okay.
is my mic fine? I just want to make sure it's working.
Yeah, you sound really good. Do you want to
Okay.
go ahead and
Yeah.
test sharing your screen and stuff?
Yeah. Let's just do the test. Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah, it looks perfect.
Okay. Me.
And okay, so do you have an intro slide for yourself? I can introduce you. Your last name is pronounced Urrutia?
Urrutia. You can say Urrutia,
Uru-
yeah.
Urrutia.
I
Okay.
just have this one. This is the only intro one, but
Okay.
basically my background is just like I've had two e-commerce companies, and that's kind of really how I was telling you how we got started into Facebook ads, just because we're doing our own e-commerce stuff.
Okay.
Is this big enough? I'm not sure.
Well, you should go full screen.
Yeah. Hold up. How do I full screen this? Hold up. Okay, let me escape.
Shouldn't just be the present button?
There you go. It's like the viewer notes. That's why I mess it up. Oh shit! Hold up. Okay. Let me.
Or are you on double monitor maybe? There you go. Now it's perfect.
Yeah, I'm on double monitor.
All right. Well, it's perfect now.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, oh yeah, the background looks really good.
Yeah,
Nice.
we changed it all. Like the one I got you was like really bare bones,
Yeah, yeah.
and then Wilson was this like this is so off brand. Like I'm redoing it all. Yeah,
Okay.
he's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So why don't we do this? Why don't I just do a brief introduction for you and then you can do like the full introduction because I don't think we had time to
Yeah.
for me
And
to give you a
I'll
proper
probably also
intro.
like, yeah, and I'll probably also just stop my camera from my face, right? So it's better not, so it doesn't lag too much.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Maybe for the Q&A, you can just turn it back on. Um,
Yeah, for the Q&A, I can turn it back on. Yep.
yeah. Okay. Let me get set up here. I'm gonna broadcast this live on Facebook. My battery's gonna die.
But yeah, also thanks for letting me do the webinar. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, of course, man. Let me see. All right, I think we're live. Let me
Okay,
turn it
perfect.
on Zoom. We're live in Facebook in our Facebook group.
Okay, perfect. I think one of my employees is on.
Too many windows. All right, I think we're live.
Okay, perfect.
Let's see. We got a couple people joining in. So we'll probably just wait a few minutes for people to come in. Got a few attendees, and then we can get started.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good to me.
Nice people coming in. Hey, everybody, how's it going? Can you hear us okay? Give us a little shout in the comments.
Nice. I can see people.
Nice. Cool. So yeah, we're just waiting a few minutes for people to all come in, and then we'll get started shortly. And if you had any questions while we're waiting, feel free to ask them in the chat, or there's a Q&A button at the bottom of Zoom here, and you can submit your question there too. All right, cool. We'll just give it one more minute. All right, let's just get started now. It's been 5 minutes. So thank you everyone for coming, and thank you for everyone who's watching this a bit later but couldn't make it out. Yes, we'll be recording this. Actually, thank you for the reminder. Is it? Yeah, it's being recorded, and we'll send out the recording to everyone who registered after. So if you have to leave early, that's fine. We'll send it out most likely tomorrow. So you won't miss anything. So today with me is Kevin Urrutia. He is the CEO and founder of Voy Media, and it is a e-commerce, primarily e-commerce, right, Kevin? Agency.
Yep, e-commerce. Yep.
Awesome. And he got started from scaling two e-commerce companies. Were those your own e-commerce companies or were those clients?
These are our own e-commerce companies.
Oh, okay. And then started an agency with his partner, Wilson. So he's here with us today and he's going to talk about how he maximized his sales during Q4, what he does to prepare before and after, and to make the most out of the holiday shopping season. So you want to get us started?
Okay. Hey, everybody. My name is Kevin. Yep. I'll get started right now. So today's topic is going to be maximizing Q4 sales on Facebook and Instagram. Give me one second. I'm going to turn my camera on. Okay, perfect. So yeah, a little bit of myself. So Voy Media, we help scale brands with paid social at record speeds. So our goal here at Voy Media is to really help you grow your business as fast as possible, usually using Facebook and Instagram. Before founding Voy Media, I was working on two e-commerce companies, and they scaled those up to 8 figures. One was in the outdoor space, and the other one was in the travel sector. Both companies are still are running right now, and they have like their own sort of CEOs that run them. So the agenda for today is going to be Q4, the periods of Q4, the offers, some examples of successful Q4 campaign strategies, ad creatives and audiences for Q4, aligning your Q4 budgets, some bidding rules with Reveal, and then optimizing your websites for conversions for the Q4 period. So for Q4, we typically execute a few different types of strategies for the brands we work with. Here, we're going to go over at least 3 different approaches that you can use depending on your scale and depending on your budget as well. So for the periods, well, for the plans, the brands we work with, usually we break it up into 4 periods. So period 1, which is today till November 23rd. Period 2, which is November 23rd to December 2nd. And then period 3, which is December 3rd to December 18th. And then December 19th to New Year's. Okay. So for the offers, for the Q4 offers that we've seen work the best are, we want offers that will resonate well with your target audience. And this really depends on kind of what that means for your existing brand and sort of what you've been doing throughout that year. What we tell the brands we work with are the offer needs to be meaningful to your audience. And it really depends on your brand, your company, what type of ads you've been running to them. We always say like consider a more substantial discount than a 10% if you typically offer this amount. So most of the brands we work with sometimes have like an email pop up and they give a typical, hey, if you join that email list, you'll get 10% off. Usually when we try to run those campaigns for Q4, they start performing poorly just because it's an offer they've seen before. So we always suggest at least 25% discount or higher, or you can offer maybe some different bundle products that they haven't seen before. Those are some pretty good ones. And if you can't really do discounts, then what we recommend is holiday bundles with a digital component. Or what you can do too is stress in your creatives or in your offers, stress urgency, stress scarcity. That let's say you only really have 100 of these items for the holiday, so you can stress that you only have 100 day left. And obviously you want to use real scarcity here. You can stress-free shipping. You can also mention that if you order by this certain date, then you'll get the item before the holidays or Christmas. Another one too, if you really don't have a discount, is just sort of mention your strike price, which is usually that discount you see on most websites. And for the offer here too, what you want to do is make it easily redeemable on your website. If you have a really strong offer, such as a 30% off, you really want to do a whole site-wide offer for that and just have it so that it auto applies on checkout. You really don't want to be giving people coupon codes for this time period when they just want to purchase right now, and you also just want that conversion as fast as possible. And the issue with sometimes giving out coupon codes is sometimes they don't work. Sometimes something comes up, and then that just leads to more emails, customer service emails, and that can sort of be a headache on your business too. So these are sort of like the timelines that we do for the Q4 offers, and sort of some different offers for each period that we think about. So for period 1, which is now until Thanksgiving week, really what you really want to do here is still run purchase conversion campaigns and build up assets that you have already. So, tell people to come join your VIP list, tell people to come join your early deals list, tell people to come and get a free ebook. And essentially you're thinking about lead magnets here and sort of collecting emails. That way you can use them later on to email them or to upload to Facebook as a custom audience. Another one that we've seen work well for period 1 is doing a bunch of giveaways, such as, hey, we're giving away free $50 gift card to our store, that way you can buy anything. And another one that we've seen work well is shopping sprees. Shopping sprees are great just because you don't really see them that much on Facebook, but it sort of helps with people resharing or reposting on Facebook, and that kind of helps build that sort of engagement audience to your friends and family of people that might have it. And of course, this is also great because why we like it is shopping sprees. People sometimes share them on Facebook, and it gives friends and families ideas of what they might buy. So then that then allows them to buy gifts for somebody else. Period 2 is usually through Thanksgiving through December 3rd, and this includes Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So for this period, we really just, but the two main ones that you really want to focus on are going to be huge discounts, such as 25 plus offers. You don't really want to go anything too fancy or crazy here, and just make it the straight, simple cut offer for your customers. For period 3, which is December 3rd to your store shipping, last shipping day before Christmas. Like again, for this period, it really depends on your own store, your own shipping deadlines, and sort of if you have 2-day shipping or 1-day shipping. A lot of brands right now have 2-day shipping, 1-day shipping. So this can even go up to maybe December 21st to the 22nd. The offers that we've seen work well here are the buy one, get one, or BOGO. Mystery bundles work really well here. You can, if you're buying gifts for your brother, family, or sister, then really you can give them a mystery bundle because you might not know what exactly they like, but if you know they like a brand, then you can say, hey, I got you this nice little bundle. You also want to offer incentives to maybe buy back again. Family packs go well again, such as get this for your brother-in-law, get this for your cousins. Those work well too. And another one is going to be, the main one is going to be just urgency before the last shipping date. So just let them know that, hey, after this date, you're not going to get the gift before Christmas, and that really helps get sales. And then period 4 is post-Christmas to New Year's. So the offers here are going to be last sale of the year because it really is a actual scarcity or urgency that's going to happen. So New Year's is actually going to come. Tax saving deals for services. This is more for some more B2B brands that they're selling services. It is a great way to tell them to buy things. And then New Year's resolution. These offers here are for if your brand is focused on fitness or different habits that you want to do. And we usually tell them like December is a great way for great time of year to do that. And then another one is just clearance sales. We see a lot of brands utilize period 4 for clearance sales of all the inventory that they've had from the summer that they just couldn't sell. Especially if you're like a summer clothing company, you just want to keep selling stuff here. So those are some of the offers that we sort of suggest. One second. And then, so for us here on the Q4 campaign strategies, here we typically execute a few of these different types of strategies for brands. And I'm going to be going over 3 different approaches that you can use. And of course, this all depends on your scale and budget. So strategy 1 really focuses on period 2, which is between November 23rd to December 2nd. Who this is for? This is for smaller budgets and not a lot of creative assets. The goal for here is low sales volume, but very high return on ad spend, very high ROAS. The audience here is going to be the audience here is going to be pretty simple. It's going to be people that have recently interacted with your ads, maybe in the past 30 days. So people really know about you. They just saw some of your products and they just discovered you. What you're going to be doing here is using a lot of dynamic product ads to do the heavy lifting. With the dynamic product ads or DPAs, This they don't require a lot of creative output, so it's really simple to get some of these campaigns up. And you can Facebook makes it super easy to make different catalogs. And why this strategy is great is because some brands out there just don't have different. They can't do different photo shoots of the different times of the year. So this allows them to at least capitalize on the Q4 period where people are just want to buy, and especially it's good because they just saw your brand, so they're gonna have a high affinity to you. And the next strategy is going to be strategy number 2. And this one really focuses on period 2 and 3. So between November to December 18th, November 23rd to December 18th. So about a month or so. And this one is for medium-sized budgets, for brands that have a medium-sized budget that want to focus on high returns and kind of a medium sales volume. The goal is high ROAS on a low budget. And audience here is really going to be 80% remarketing. And then this also includes email lists, and previous ad engagers. With this sort of audience here in strategy 2, you're going to be expanding more of your bucket from that 30 days to maybe 60 to 180. And then at the same time, you want to rely heavily on your email list, past purchases that you've had, and maybe some previous ad engagers. Why this strategy works well for medium-sized budgets is because you're expanding your retargeting list, but at the same time, you're using your email list to the advantage that you know that people are going to open some of them at least 10 to 20%. But with this sort of strategy here is you speak more directly to existing customers that have purchased your products. This does require a little bit more creative output, since you're also going to be doing email campaigns, and you're also going to be doing different type of ads, not just dynamic product ads. You're going to be actually running more video campaigns. You're going to be running more image creatives. So this does require your brand to have a little bit more creative output. The third strategy is going to involve all the 4 periods. Basically period 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is for more medium to large budgets, about at least 200K plus in Q4. The goal here is scaling ad spend within the KPIs that you're happy with. And of course, for each brand, it's a little bit different. Some brands just want to scale high with just get more customers, or maintain some sort of ROAS they're looking to achieve. The audience here is kind of 45% is going to be prospecting, 45% about remarketing, and now 15% is going to be retention campaigns. This strategy focuses heavily on prospecting early. Basically, if right now for all the brands we're working with, we're doing a lot of this right now. We're basically showing early offers, doing email funnels, doing video view campaigns, doing event responses, spree giveaways, and lead generation. So event responses is something that we've seen work really well in the past, where basically you tell audiences, hey, we have this special coming up in the next month, sign up for our event and you'll get notified of the deal. So a lot of people don't use this as a campaign, but what's great about the event responses is that, as you've probably seen, when your friends invite you to events and they update the event or they change something, you get a notification on your Facebook account. So this is a way to sort of hack that and use it as a way to tell people, hey, the deal is happening right now, or hey, the deal just went live. And the great thing about it is that you can actually track that on Facebook, at least the event responses. So it's a great way to sort of collect leads in a different sort of way, not just a traditional lead ads. And then again, what you also want to be doing is email funnels here. Email funnels here are to just collect email leads, give away a free ebook, give away a free item, give away a free item. Yep. For here, typically you want to spend at least 3 or 4 times your average budget, at least 200K plus in Q4. And this is for really when you really know your metrics and you're really looking to scale up and you're trying to capitalize on that sales volume that Q4 is going to give you. And of course, here you also want to have an excellent offer that's going to be needed for this strategy to really work effectively. So here for Void Media, our suggested campaign strategy is going to be strategy number 3. It's the most comprehensive, and it allows you to capitalize on the high conversion rates during these periods. It also allows you to utilize a lot of the assets that you were using earlier in the year, allows us to use a lot of the audiences that you've been building up throughout the year, and also allows you to get more creative during these Q4 periods. At least with us, we're making a lot of holiday creatives, a lot of holiday landing pages for brands, and that's super fun to do for clients because they love those sort of one-off pages that they can show off. For this strategy, like I said, it allows us to bring in new customers into our funnel in period one. We can test ad copy, we can test offers, we're testing creative assets and landing pages. And the thing about this too is that we're building a really big marketing pool and email list. Clients love building email lists, brands love email lists. We've seen them to be super high converting during Q4 period. So we know that if we really build a nice targeted campaign list, it's going to convert when we send that email blast right after that Thanksgiving Day turkey. And here for the Q4 creatives, one second. So right now for the Q4 creative, we're going to be going over some Q4 creatives that we've seen to work well. So the main thing for the Q4 creatives is always analyze some of your previous winning campaigns and angles. This is the number one thing that you should do when you're thinking about Q4. Go back to the campaigns that were giving you that return on ad spend that you were happy with. Go back to the campaigns that were giving you that CPA that you were happy with, and sort of see why they won, or even look at that angle and see how you can sort of twist it up for a holiday sort of campaign. You should have at least 3 to 5 creatives per angle or offer. I would say that's a minimum, just because you never know what's going to resonate well. So three different creatives, and that could really mean image ads, video ads, images with motion, some of the tall images for Instagram stories, or even just different colors on that same sort of creative that you know have seen work well. You want to focus on eye-catching product shots that are at least 1 by 1. We've seen these work well for Q4. And again, you also want to create those 9 by 16 images for IG stories. We're seeing IG stories perform super well nowadays, really cheap CPMs. You can get super creative with them. When you're doing maybe poll ads, you can say, hey, would you like to buy this gift for your brother or sister? Yes or no? And then that's sort of what we're thinking. That's why those work well. Again, super cheap, and you get the swipe up. And especially, this is also why it's important to have a really super mobile optimized website. We're seeing a lot of sales on via IG stories nowadays. We also suggest getting a lot of UGC content and turning those into video creatives. UGC content is probably one of the biggest content that we see convert no matter what period it is. But even in Q4, it still works amazing. And we've seen it where we can take a UGC video that was working well, let's say Q1, Q2, add a nice little holiday banner to it, add a holiday discount to it, and get a super high return ad spend. And then again, like I said before, you want maybe some holiday theme assets. But the main thing for the Q4 creatives is just keep your messaging clear and simple. If you're offering a discount, just say this is a discount in big, bold letters, and then go from there.
Hey, Kevin, we got a quick question here.
Yep.
I think is a good time to answer. Maria asked, when is the best time to start Black Friday campaigns on Facebook?
Oh, so like the actual the actual Black Friday campains. I mean, we see some people running Black Friday we see some people running Black Friday campaigns like the week of Black Friday. It really depends on kind of the budget and sort of if you want to start promoting your offer as soon as possible. But we also see people just promote it the day of Black Friday. So that kind of, but the best time is always at least maybe 1 or 2 days, the day up, 1 or 2 days before. And another reason why too is, I wanted to mention too, is with these campaigns, at least for Black Friday or Cyber Monday, you really want to have them all uploaded and approved by Facebook, because last year, Facebook pretty much kind of went down during like these times, and a lot of campaigns I know a lot of other advertisers complaining that they couldn't even get campaigns up and running because Facebook just didn't approve the ads in time.
Yeah, that's a really good tip about scheduling. That's happened to me a couple of times. Extremely frustrating. And it sounds like still you'd want to do some of those top of funnel campaigns to build that list for Black Friday too, right? Or to build that audience.
Sorry, say it again. It's like breaking up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. It sounds like you also want to do some of those top of funnel campaigns like you were mentioning here in strategy 3 to build up those audiences for the Black Friday campaigns, right?
Yep, exactly. Yep. Yeah. I think Tyler's saying that he saw that disaster last year. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was annoying. But I would say like start them as soon as possible. Of course, it makes sense like 2-3 days before. Some people are kind of doing them a week before. We've seen kind of both. We also see other companies just start them right after So I'm here in the East Coast. So we see people start them. We sometimes schedule them for like 6 p.m. So basically right after dinner, when we know people are done eating the turkey and they're ready to go on Facebook and sort of want to browse their phones.
Awesome.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, yeah. I think Tyler's saying that he also does after dinner as well. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah. So here's kind of like the timeline for creatives and timeline. So obviously, period one, we're gonna go over period one, and period two, which is today to November 23rd and November 23rd to December 2nd. Um, Here for period one, where you're doing a lot of your prospecting, you're doing a lot of your audience building and asset building. You don't really need to really focus too much on what the holiday is or sort of the holiday or it needs to be holiday focused at all. You can still continue prospecting with previous creators that you've seen work well. This could be product shots, it could be uh, image shots, it could be some lifestyle photos, it could be some of the branded videos that you have running. So that's kind of like you're still kind of building up your assets, and of course going with that offer that you previously wanted to pick here as well. For period two, this is really where your creator should be focused on the actual selling of going on. You can use product images and then use UGC content, and of course you want to be also add the holiday theme assets to the creatives. But again, with the messaging here, like we said before, just keep it simple. Just show people your offer, have a link to them to buy as soon as possible, and that's it. Like, we've seen like one or two sentences just convert the best here. You don't need to go too crazy with some sort of long sales ad copy. So for period three and period four, which is December 3rd to January 1st. So basically for period three, the creatives that want to focus on here are going to be more now on giftability, last minute shopping, and should have Christmas theme assets here, or maybe Hanukkah theme if you're in Hanukkah theme as well. So basically, focus on certain angles here. For period four, it's just we really just consider this an extension of period three, but we will also incorporate bundling, last minute shopping, urgency, and new goals such as fitness goals or lifestyle goals. And that's kind of how we think about it here. So in here, we just want to go over some of the creatives that we've seen work well. And so with this creative here, we like them here for period one. And the reason why we like them is because can you guys hear this or no?
I can't hear it.
You can hear it?
No, I can't.
Okay.
But good thing there's captions.
Okay. Yep. So this is BetterHelp. It's great. Great video here. And then here's Theragun, which is another product type of video.
And quick question on that first one. Did they pay to have this person do that, or is that pure obviously that's not pure user generated content because no one would upload a video quite like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So yeah, but this one, like something like this one, you probably pay someone. Like I said, you could do both ways where you can do UGC content, which is someone just does it for you. But with something like this, we've been able to just hire actors to essentially just read the script that we want them to say based on a real testimonial.
Okay. Oh, based on a real testimonial. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So you just hire the actors to just come into your office and do it. So with this one right here, it's just like a product shot video with just showing some of the product features. So like I said, these work well for period one. And the reason why is because they're videos. Of course, the videos, you all know you can do the video retargeting. But what I really like about them is that they're pretty long, so a little bit above 30 seconds. And you can really leverage some of that 75% retargeting audiences for later on campaigns because you know that they watched a big part of it. And that's really why I like long testimonial videos like this one, which is about a minute long, because you're really telling customers and prospects what your value prop is, what your offer is, and sort of what you would do before they maybe even click on your website. So you're building a really hot, engaged audience. Yep. So for the second creative example that we have here, sorry, I think I went too forward. Yep. So for this one, this is one where as a Diff's eyewear, we don't do them, but we've seen them produce really great creatives here. And Diff is like I think someone asked the question, when should you start sales? You could see that Diff is stalling the holiday shopping right now. This is an ad that they had running for maybe the past week. And you could see that their creatives are very simple and their messaging is very clear. It's get your holiday shopping done early, warehouse sale on select sun and blue light styles. They have 1 frame for 25, 2 frames for 40, 5 frames for 90, and 10 frames for 150. The creative is very simple. You know what the offer is, and they're not doing anything crazy. And all the content that you see here, at least for the left and the bottom right, is UGC content. Maybe the top right is a photo shoot, but the other ones are a little bit more natural. And it's the sort of content that we've seen on their Instagram page a lot. So that for them, this is just a static image. And they also made another one like this with using their UGC content. That's a video. And again, it's super simple. It's 5 seconds long. Okay. Any questions there? No. Okay. And then for this one, this is another creative example that we like for Q4. This is the one that Bonobos has. The reason why we like it is it goes back to kind of what we're saying is for Q4, just make your creative simple and just tell people what it is. It's such a straight up offer. It's 25% off everything. And that's it. And those are the ones that we've seen work well because people know when they're swiping up or when they're clicking what they're going to do, what they're going to get out of it. And then this is another one from Taylor Stitch, which goes back to kind of like more of the bundles and the giveaways. This one is for just winning a gift card. So for here, you could see that they're signing up and it's just for email collection. And I'm assuming someone's going to win. And then later on, everybody else that's not going to win is going to get an email or some sort of discount. So those are some great creatives and some ideas that you could be doing for at least period 1 and period 2 and period 3 of the Q4 campaigns. Another one that we really like, it goes back to kind of bundle box or surprise box. Ella, you guys have seen this company before. They do this a lot. And again, if you look at this is an ad that they have running right now. They're running Black Friday deals right now. And it's not even like Black Friday yet. So a lot of companies are starting right now early. So this is actually just one video that I just took 2 screenshots of. So you can say, hey, use Black Friday for 25% off plus free shipping. They're using great call to action and they're showing the really strong offer with the free shipping offer that we mentioned earlier today. And then again, they're also incorporating a surprise box. You don't know what you're going to get, but you know that you have this great deal and you're going to get free shipping. And then so this is a video and it just rotates between these 2 images. Okay, perfect. And then
Hey, Kevin, Tyler had a quick question here about these creatives.
Okay.
If these creatives were part of the same funnel, where would you put UGC / influencer versus product centric creative?
Yeah, so for UGC / influencer and product centric creative, we would put them still at top of the funnel. We would so UGC influencer, put them at the top of the funnel. We've seen them work well. And then if you get UGC influencer that talks about maybe reviews or talks about a great service that you're doing, you would also put it kind of in the middle of the funnel and bottom of the funnel. So it really depends, but like for UGC, we've seen it work well for top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and also bottom of the funnel. For product centric, we kind of really like to do it a little bit more in the middle of the funnel because you kind of already convince a person to check out your website, check out your product, and now maybe you should tell them exactly what's included in the product, kind of similar to that Theragun video. So you could potentially have someone talking about Theragun in the first sort of top of the funnel, an influencer or some sort of gym person, and then that middle of the funnel, you have that sort of Theragun product focused video. Does that make sense?
Yep, you said that's perfect.
Thanks, Tyler, for that question. Okay. And so here's some the Q4 audiences that we usually think about and sort of we're going to be going over. So basically for Q4, basically now until the week of Black Friday, like I said before, start building audiences that we target as the cost of traffic begins to rise. This is something that happens in Q4 every single year. It gets more and more expensive. So this is why we always tell customers you need to start prospecting early. So audiences that you really want to be using are going to be Facebook and Instagram retargeting audiences, 180 days, video views anywhere between 75 plus, but even we've seen 25 to 50 plus work well. Of course, fans of your pages always work well. You also want to be focusing on some website custom audiences. 30 days view content, but didn't purchase is an example. Facebook Messenger lists, and then email lists. And then of course, you also want to focus on your lookalike audiences, 1 to 10%. This can mean 30-day buyers, viewed content but didn't purchase. This could be people that have just purchased, people that have purchased over X $100. Again, you can get really creative with lookalike audiences. You probably know some that work well, so that works. That's sort of what you're thinking about. And then here, another one that we also like to run, which is we've seen work well, and this really only works well when you have a lot of data, and it's not really for a newer brand. This is a brand that spent like at least 400 or 500K on Facebook. We kind of see broad audiences work well, and with that, you kind of just tell Facebook what is the age or gender of the people buying that product. And then we've seen that just Facebook's pixel just really knows who your buyer is. And we've also seen cheaper CPMs this way versus something like a lookalike audience. Lookalike audiences are great, but everybody knows to do a 1%. So that 1% CPM does get a little bit expensive as time goes on. Oops. So the week of Black Friday, and this one, this is the week where you want to kind of maximize sales. The audiences that you kind of want to target here are going to be all your website custom audiences. Just basically, you probably have mostly everybody has lists and lists in their audience manager. Basically, bring those all in here, and of course, you can make new ones as well. Make engagement audiences, make video view audiences, make fan audiences, VIP customer lists, upload your customer list to a new one. So obviously you want to do 180-day purchases, but remember that's only 180 days. You've had purchases for the past 365 days. So build that into a new list, and then use that as a custom audience that you can retarget to during this week of Black Friday. Newsletter, email lists. A lot of people have separate lists all over on their like Klaviyo or MailChimp. So you just make sure you upload those as well. Your website visitors and your past customers / lead forms. So when you're kind of doing your kind of budget or bidding here, of course you want to do conversion campaigns, but something that has worked well for us when we're uploading customer email lists or last year's purchasers is doing link click campaigns to these custom audiences, or even like a reach campaign. The reason why is because with these audiences, remember, you just now want to show people that offer that you have, that strong offer. You're not really you're trying to obviously get sales, but these people should by now already know your brand and the products you have because they've purchased from you before. So we usually like to try link clicks or even reach campaigns here for at least for a lot of these custom audiences. After Black Friday, here you're kind of really trying to maintain the momentum. Some audiences to target are, test lookalikes to see if conversion is still profitable. Of course, go back to some prospecting campaigns, go back to some of the website custom audiences. But what usually happens from what we've seen is you're trying to maintain the momentum, but the list eventually does die out because people know that they're going to get another deal in a few weeks. So, this is why you definitely want to scale down your budget here. And again, here the audiences are going to be video views, fans, VIP customer lists, customer email list, newsletter, email list, and then website visitors. Maybe you're going to get some stragglers going to buy, but usually, this is after, when I say after Black Friday, I mean after Black Friday / Cyber Monday. So in here now, we're going to talk about kind of the budgets what we think about and sort of maybe some budget suggestions. So kind of here's the typical allocation. Here's the allocation of a typical budget of 300K for a Q4. Period one, 30% of it is going to be just prospecting. So basically, there's a breakdown: 30% for period one, 40% for period two, 25% for period three, and then just 5% for period four. And this is kind of a typical breakdown that we kind of suggest for brands we work with. So for the Q4 budgets, this is the kind of like the expectations that we always tell brands is that the strategy you're going to do, we presented three strategies, but the strategy really is going to determine your ad spend and the ROAS you're going to get. A strategy based solely on retargeting, of course, will be higher than one based on prospecting slash retargeting. In Q4, success for a brand at scale would mean more ad spend and sales. If you can get more aggressive on scaling, of course, with real rules, and we'll go over that. But just sort of, I think for brands that you work with or just brands even on this webinar, you really need to just sort of figure out what that strategy is and know that we always tell, like, if you're just doing retargeting, of course it's going to be higher than prospecting, especially because right now we know that prospecting in Q4 is really expensive. So you don't want to be doing too much prospecting later on in Q4. And then right now we're going to go over some rules. Some rules and rules that we like to implement during Q4. That way we can sort of make as much money as possible. Of course, all the rules here, we use Reveal. We've been using here Void Media at least over a year and a half now. It's the best automation platform that we've seen, and it constantly gets updated and provides the best support for us. So some of the rules here are just basically, we call it on the safe side, where basically we're pausing ads and campaigns that have spent a certain amount of money but have not converted. So let's say in the last 3 days, we spent over, let's say, for example, $50, and we've had no purchases. Just pause that ad set. This $50, of course, we always say like it should be at least 2 to 3 times your average CPA. So this number is going to be different for what your price point is. So if you have for example, if you have like a $400 product and you know your CPA is $150, then this should be at least $450. $50 won't make any sense. So yeah, just adjust accordingly. And again, if you have any questions, rules, you can always ask us, and I can help you as well. But so this is the one that you should definitely have. And this is just because, you don't want to be monitoring your ads 24/7, but let's with Reveal, we always set our rules to be checking every 15 minutes. That way we know that we're getting the best, optimizations. The next one is basically, it's just pausing your ad set if it has a low ROAS and has spent about 50% of the budget for that day. So a lot of the rules that we run here, these rules are just for Q4. So they're always are running that same day, because we know that during Q4, our budgets are just so much higher that we can gather more data more quickly. So we don't need to sometimes wait 3 to 4 days. So of course you want to adjust depending on what strategy you select and kind of how comfortable you are with high budgets or low budgets. So with this rule, you want to pause your ad set if the spend is over 50% of your ad budget and your ROAS is below what you're happy with. And like I said before, like your ROAS depends on kind of how whatever it means for your business. So for some people, under 1 is bad. For people, maybe great. So people, this number will need to be a 2 or 3, and just kind of adjust accordingly. The next rule, what we call here, is called dynamic bid bumper. So with this rule, we shorten it out to DBB. Is what we're doing here is increasing your bid for active campaigns by 7% every 2 hours. And how this rule works is if the impressions in the last hour, is less than the hour before, then increase the bid. So basically, if your spending has slowed down in the last hour versus the hour before, get it to spend more. It's kind of confusing, but that's kind of what that means. Basically, this helps increase the bid if you see your ad sets are stalling. This is particularly useful in high competition days like Q4, when you would normally have to adjust budgets manually. Because the budgets are slowly creeping up, this is the test. What you're doing here is testing for the perfect bid, where you're just slightly above competitors. That way you're winning the auction more, but you're also not overbidding. That way you're not paying too much. This can really work for any type of bid, such as basically all cost cap or the other bids that exist on Facebook right now. Does anybody have a question on this one? I think someone is. Maybe.
Yeah, Benny had a question about bids. He says he runs a store and optimizes ads on purchases and usually keeps it on auto bidding. And I know you just talked about this rule about increasing bids. So would you suggest any manual bid strategies?
Yeah, so for us here, we're doing a lot of manual bids for anything with Q4. We're doing a lot of manual bids versus something like auto bids. Of course, auto bids is the easiest one, but let's say you're doing a retargeting audience, for example, of like a 30-day website visitors on Black Friday or Cyber Monday, an auto bid might not work as well just because everybody else is competing. So we always tell brands is we're going to be doing a manual bid on retargeting audiences and sort of setting up a high bid. That way we can always appear in the auction, because a bid is just trying to see, can you appear in the auction more than your competitors? I hope that kind of answers the question. And yeah, but if you're doing if you're doing automatic bidding and you kind of know what maybe your average CPA is, then you can, um, if you know what your average CPA is, then you can always increase it during Q4. And then, and then I think, what would you say? I think Tyler's asking, what would you set the initial bid at? I would say, Tyler, look at what your average CPA is throughout like maybe 3-4 months, and then set that as your starting bid. And then as you're sort of playing around with it, increase it by, a few dollars every day or so until you see it sort of spending. You can do it manually, but this is why we have this rule here where it kind of does it automatically. Of course, you want to be careful with it. If you have like a super high budget, you have like a daily budget of like over 3-4K, you want to keep watching it. Does that help, Tyler? Okay, perfect. Okay, and then the next rule that we have is just to, I think a lot of people know this one. It's called surfing. Basically, if your if your ROAS today is if your spend today is above your half of the 50% of the daily budget, and your ROAS today is over 3, for example, meaning for some brands super high, then we basically just want to increase the budget by 10% every hour. This is basically you're just trying to spend as much money as possible, and the reason why this rule works really well during Q4 is because your budgets are much higher and your conversion rate is much higher. So these metrics usually work, and then you really want to maximize that day to get more sales. You just basically want to keep increasing it every time. And then another one that you can have as well, if you want to be sort of aggressive or not aggressive, you can use either one of these. They do the same thing. It's increase 10% every 1 hour, or you can do this one, which is um, increase budget by 30% every 3 hours, in case you want to be doing it every hour or so. Okay, perfect. And that's all. That's sort of what the rules. Of course, the rules, like I said, Reveal. We use Reveal for everything. So all the screenshots are from Reveal, our own internal rules. And again, we suggest setting up some sort of templates inside Reveal. That way you can sort of copy them over and over again or tweak them as you see fit. And then again, you can also set, like Wilson was saying in the chat, you can also set rules. That way you don't need to keep watching them. And we use rules here for just alerts as well, in case it's spending a lot or it's spending too little. And then you get a notification on Slack. Yep. And then for now, for this one, we're going to talk about how to pretty much optimize your website for conversions during Q4. Basically, everybody here knows landing pages and how they work. So the reason why we have this slide in here is because you really want to experiment with landing pages for the top of the funnel so that you can improve your conversion rates and purchases. This is really, really helpful during period 1 where you're sending a lot of top of the funnel traffic that hasn't seen your audiences or your website yet. So some pages that we really recommend are your bestseller pages, product pages, collection pages, bundle pages, and holiday pages. So one thing that we see a lot of brands don't have on their website a lot is bestseller pages or even bundle pages. Bestseller pages just make sense. You should tell people, hey, this is the best products that we have, and we know they're the best sellers. So here it is. And the reason why we like it is because you're also conveying to users that you know what your best products are, and you know that's in stock for them. Another one is also bundle pages. You want people to know that they can buy a set of 3 or 4. Let's say, for example, you have deodorants. You know that you can buy a set of 3 or 4 deodorants for yourself or for anybody. And then another one is just holiday pages. And we're going to go over some sort of holiday pages right now. and then bundle pages, because these are the two that we think have usually the best thing for the Q4. So this is a landing page example of a bundle. I'm not sure if you guys know this brand. It's called Nomadic. They kind of sell some sort of like travel gear, and they have a really nice bundle page that you basically, they take all the products on their website and put it into a nice little GUI that people can pick and choose what they want to add with their travel gear. So here you could see that I picked the travel pack that was for $259. I picked the shirt organizer that was $29, and I picked the watch that was $119. Price of the total is $409, and and with the savings it's $57. We love this because it allows people to be creative, and also allows you to sort of just offer a discount for a bundle, but also really gets your AOV up. This store is on Shopify, so they're probably using a Shopify plugin. And here's another landing page that we seen, kind of like you've seen work well for the Halloween. Is for landing page examples is you always want to make your landing pages relevant to that theme or the holiday you're doing. So this is a Halloween one. This is another one for a SaaS company that was made some landing pages for their membership plans that was also Halloween based. If you're doing, especially if you're doing Halloween themed assets and Halloween themed ads, we think it should go to a Halloween themed landing pages, just to sort of keep that congruency, as you all know, like one-to-one, to make sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck. And here's another one for a Christmas sale. Basically, we saw this one last year that I really liked. Basically, they just have holiday themed background, and then they just have the discount straight up front. That way, you're not guessing what the discount is. And yeah, that's all. Any other questions? That's sort of it from me on my end.
We did get one question about, I can't remember the name of the rule, but it was in reference to one of the rules that you had posted. The question's from Simon. He asked, it was about the impressions previous hour versus this hour. So impressions being less than the previous hour, impressions could just be because of normal ad pacing across the day. And if so, should he still use this rule?
Simon, does that, it really depends. Are you using like manual bidding or automatic bidding? Because if you're doing maybe more automatic bidding, then it's definitely from ad pacing. But if you're doing manual bidding, then it's probably because your bid is too low.
So I got a question on that, maybe
Yep.
while he types the reply. If you have that rule set up, should you ever have another rule that maybe brings it back down? Or because at some point your impressions will always be, or at some point your impressions will be less 1 hour than it was the previous hour, right? Or do you just keep
Yeah.
on
So
all the
then
time?
so that for that one, then you definitely want to go back to the other rule that you have, which is probably the pause ad set if it's a low ROAS and it's been over 50% of your budget.
Okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. So, and most of the rules have that reset again, where it's like, hey, if it's just spending a lot and you're not getting any sales, then just pause it. So it's like increase it, but stop it. And then most of the rules, and also with like Wilson saying, most of these rules then reset at midnight or the next day, right? So let's say your bid increases to like, for example, like $500. The next day, we usually reset it back to what it was when it first started that day.
Right. And try again the next day.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then if it spends over 50% and nothing, stop that, and then the campaign doesn't start for that day anymore.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we still have a few minutes left, everyone. So if you have any more questions, feel free to pop them in the chat box or in the questions box. We do have some viewers in our Facebook group right now, but someone said no questions. They're going to watch the video in their own time, which is totally cool.
Okay.
If you are watching this video now at a later date while it's recorded, you can always ask a question in the group in the video, and we can respond to it. Kevin's also in the group, so he could be there if you tag him.
Yeah, just tag me. Any questions, let me know, or tag me and Wilson. We'll help you guys out. Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we got a couple more coming through.
Okay.
Let's see from what Simon had as a follow-up question. he asked, what will happen at midnight from ad delivery perspective? Will Facebook reset everything?
Yeah, midnight. Yeah, it'll reset everything. It depends on your time zone, of course. Like when I say midnight, I mean my midnight, but depending on your time zone, it will reset. Yeah.
Okay. So your delivery could be just as bad again. And it could take a few of those rules to have effect for it to get any traction.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, cool. And then we got a question from Tyler. Do you guys have any other templates for rules that are useful? So Kevin did show us some rules there. There's also a new section in RevealBot called strategies, and those are also some prepackaged rules that you could try. There are popular types of rules. For example, on the safe side, one of the ones that Kevin showed us is in there. And there's a few other ones that you can see if it makes sense for your business, and they all are for different types of goals and objectives. So feel free to take a look at those, and those are proven strategies in there.
Yeah, yeah. With rules, Reveal has a ton built in there, and then like we tell all the brands, like you got to try them out and sort of see what works for you. That way, like I said, it just depends on your goals and objectives. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for anything particular, you can always just message me, and I could figure out what you're trying to do.
And we got another one from Escobar. How big can you scale within a day to not break the algorithms?
I think Wilson, what we have, Wilson, you're doing like 50, 60K a day for a client or for a brand, right? And it was perfectly fine. Yeah, we're doing 50 to 60K a day during Q4 for a brand in December, and we're for the whole month, and we're perfectly fine.
I think the question is, so you increased the budget by 50K in a single day?
Oh, we
Is what
were
you're saying?
doing Wilson was doing it. We were using this other rule a lot, the surfing one during Q4, and it was working perfectly fine, which is this one. Yeah, this one. We're increasing it between 10% every hour or 35% every 3 hours. And it was working perfectly fine with like a 5K daily start budget.
And is it recommended to do anything faster than 10% every hour, or would you keep it there?
I would keep it there. I would say like you could still you could do it faster if you want. It just really depends on kind of how aggressive you want to go or sort of how have done it. I think Wilson has done it 50% every 2 hours. So it definitely can work.
Okay. Any other questions? We probably got time for one more if someone wants to pop one in really quick. All right, I think we got them all. Probably gave everyone a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Awesome. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Any questions, you can always just email me, just Kevin@Void Media.
Yep.
So any questions there, just let me know.
Yeah. And if you want, Kevin, you can pop in your email into the Facebook group too.
Okay.
When we send out the recording, it's going to be a link to the video in the Facebook group. And you can always, again, ask questions right then and there, and then just tag one of us if you want us to answer the question, and we can go back in. Doesn't matter how long ago it was.
Yeah. It does. Yeah, it
And
doesn't matter. Just let me know.
yeah, and if you want to learn more about Void Media and Kevin's agency, go to voidmedia.com and you can see exactly what type of services they offer and the type of clients they serve. And you guys also have a lot of content on your blog, which I just saw, which is awesome. So if you want to learn some more advanced strategy and how they do things over there, go give a look to their blog.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, Reggie, for the time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun. We should do it again sometime.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Reggie.
All right.
Thank you guys for hopping on the webinar. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. See ya.